Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
I have no communication to make at the moment.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, statements. Order number 8, motions and bills. Under this order, there is a bill, that is the Nyandarua County Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2025, coming up for the first reading.
Very well. Honorable Isaac Kunwanjiro, Chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee, Member for Wanjiri.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want first of all to thank your office because the Budget and Appropriation Committee requested that we alter the calendar last week so that we can be able to look at the appropriation bill, which we were in agreement with the executive that it will be prepared and it will be ready in this house this morning. But due to unavoidable circumstances, Honorable Speaker, I'm just informed by the CC Finance that the appropriation bill for the first supplementary budget is not ready, and hence it has not been gazetted. And so, Honorable Speaker, we will not be able to move forward, and I would request that we give more time to the executive to look at the budget, and once they are ready, Honorable Speaker, we will inform your office accordingly, and we will be able to facilitate going forward. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As per the request, we have no option but to wait for communication in regard to the same. So, Clerk, next order.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kayeni.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, my apologies for...
And maybe having noted that the supplementary budget is not ready and it was the main item, you can also know the status of your masters.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the reading is still being read. It has been quite slippery. You know what I've been going through in the past year. And therefore, I called off the study at the point of the submission of the project. I'm resuming again. Hopefully, it will be smooth this year. And probably by September, I'll be done. That is the progress. Today, there is a presentation, and I'll be attending for some of my colleagues who are doing the project presentation. And that is in readiness. You know, I have to encourage Kamwana, Honorable Kamwana, who has also gone back to school, and not just any school, but the University of Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, I've stood on a point of information. Because the last time I checked, Honorable Speaker, we came here today specifically to deal with the issue of the appropriation. I'm feeling rather wasted for having to come, and yet I could have gone to join my people as we do the roads for Githafai. But now I'm feeling like I'm here, confused and lost as to why I should be here when somebody else did not do their work. Why was it hard to inform us as late as yesterday that this matter will not be coming on the floor of the House so that we could reorganize ourselves and attend to our people? Honorable Speaker, I don't know how you're going to rule on this matter going forward so that such an occurrence is either discouraged and not allowed going forward, so that tomorrow somebody does not rise up and tell us we are going to meet on a matter that's not going to appear and wasting the time, precious time of this honorable member. I know Honorable Kamwana would also be doing the same in Gadara, because machineries are in Gadara. So, Honorable Speaker, kindly find it in her to give a direction for precedents, setting precedents, and for deterrent of such a measure going forward. Thank you.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, sir. Honorable Chair.
Honorable Speaker, I want to give information to the House, and I think I want to agree with Honorable Kayani, but I want to give this information that last week we were in agreement with the executive that the appropriation bill will be ready. Those who are aware about our calendar, and I know majority leader is here, understand that we were supposed to adjourn to go for a 2-week recess. So personally, as the chairman budget and through the advice of the committee, we requested the speaker not to adjourn and to give us and to allow us to come today to pass the appropriation bill before we adjourn for the 2 weeks, because we were finding where we have a special sitting which would need to be gazetted for us to come back. And we were in agreement with the executive that they will do whatever is needed to be ready. But unfortunately, we know that there is a presidential visit tomorrow. So when we were done with the document, it was ready by Friday. It was a weekend. It was submitted to the executive. All of you are aware that Monday was also a public holiday. They have scrutinized the document, but they wanted to inform His Excellency the Governor, and also who was supposed to invite the cabinet and discuss a few issues that has emanated from the budget that we passed, so that it can be, actually, the appropriation bill is ready, but it has not been taken to the government printer for gazettement, because it has no consent. The governor has not given a consent, and he was being sized about the matter this morning. So they have requested that they be given today, and knowing tomorrow that also is a presidential visit, we might not be sitting, so we advise the speaker maybe to call us another day, which can be a special sitting for that matter. Otherwise, we are very sorry, and I know this is not what was intended. And we could not have requested the speaker to postpone through the social media or the other things, because we had not adjourned. So today was a sitting day, Honorable Speaker.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir, Honorable Adungu.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I was asking if it is possible and it can be gazetted today. Can we as well come tomorrow, Honorable Speaker? Because I don't see anything which can affect us to be here tomorrow, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker,
Maybe in regard to what Honorable Adungu has said, Honorable Adungu, what we need to have an official communication from the executive, so that every decision we'll be making, it's an official decision. As much as I agree with what Honorable Kongo has said, the office of the clerk and my office does not have that information. So let us wait for the official communication, so that anytime we will call members, we will base ourselves on documentary evidence. Yes, Honorable Major.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I support what Honorable Gadogo have said. That if it will be possible, the gazettement should be done today, because as you heard yesterday from the President, he said everyone, MCA, should concentrate with his work, the governor concentrate with his work, the president to concentrate with his work. And so, having understood that, if it will be possible that the gazettement be done today, we can have the business tomorrow. I support Honorable Gadungu.
Maybe Honorable Majority, I think you didn't hear what the directions I gave. My office and the office of the clerk have not had any official communication from the executive that the document is ready. And therefore, if we gazette, we will be basing ourselves on hearsay. And this being a house of rules and procedures, we have to follow the procedure. I get the official communication that the document is ready for we to be able to gazette. Otherwise, if you gazette now, we are speculating. We even don't know whether it's ready. However, the communication that the chair has given, we need an evidential backup. That is the official communication to the office.
I promise, Honorable Speaker, I promise to fast track on the same.
Sure.
Being the majority leader in this Honorable House.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that if we get the right communication,
Exactly.
We can have a session tomorrow.
Very well, majority. As soon as we get the official communication, we will proceed immediately.
So, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Gashomba.
I want to inform Honorable Kongo, the chairman budget, to tell us how is tomorrow a presidential day and it's not even been gazetted. whether he's coming to visit Nyandarua or what is he coming to do? Because he has alluded that tomorrow we cannot appropriate the supplementary budget because it's a presidential day. How is it a presidential day?
Yes, Honorable Kashomba has asked whether tomorrow the president is coming to visit Nyandarua or Wanjohi, and how is that a presidential day? Come up again. Probably I did not get the concern direct. Come up again.
When Honorable was highlighting on the appropriation bill, actually he said that tomorrow is a presidential day. I want to understand how is it a presidential day tomorrow?
Honorable Speaker, I will withdraw. It is not a president. I think there was a slight of the tongue. I don't know. I don't even understand. I said it is a presidential day. I meant there was a presidential visit within the county. That does not hinder in any way this assembly from meeting anyway.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Mbai. Yes, Honorable Kashomba. That is withdrawn. Honorable Mbai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think if there is a day that we need to be very active doing our own, it is tomorrow. We have not been involved in anything to do with presidential visit, and for that matter, that should not stop anything to continue. President should come and continue doing his work, and we should be in this assembly doing what we are supposed to do. It does not matter whether the president will come or not. President coming is not a public holiday. He should be visiting his people down there, launching his own project, and we should be here pushing or working to ensure that the supplementary budget is complete, and our people start getting services from what we supposed to be doing. And for that reason, Honorable Speaker, I agree with Honorable Majority Leader that he should push them hard to bring that document here and get that gazetted. In fact, if there is a day that we should be very active, it is tomorrow. And it should be live, covered even by, if possible, covered by even the national televisions, so that they can see that Nyandarua members of County Assembly, they are busy working. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Point of further information, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kayini. Thank you, Honorable Mbai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the debate is becoming a bit interesting, and I agree with the members fully that actually we should be found working, and he should go back knowing that Nyandarua is a working county. And for that reason, Honorable Speaker, I know and I'm fully aware that the President is in the habit of launching anything and everything he comes across. I think we have a gate there that need to be launched for repair, and we also have the block here that need to be opened. So probably we can provide that opportunity. When he comes here, he also launch the gate, the repair of the gate and the building here. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, following the information given by Honorable Isaac Kulu, I had consulted with the leadership of the House, and I have directed that a supplementary order paper be drafted, so clerk proceed to the supplementary order paper.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
No communication to make.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, statements. Order number 8, motions and bills. Under this order, there is a procedural motion by Honorable Elijah Mwanginyaga, the leader of the majority party.
Very well. Honorable Elijah Mwanginyaga, leader of the majority party.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir. Pursuant to Standing Orders 29, subsection 3, I beg to move the following motion that this House does adjourn for recess, such that the recess commences tomorrow, the 3rd day of April 2025, and ends on Monday, the day of April 2025, in accordance with the amendment legislative calendar for this 4th session of the 3rd Assembly, as such, this House adjourns today, that is the 2nd day of April, at 9:30 a.m. and assume on the 15th day of April 2025 at 9:30 a.m. Mr. Speaker, I also want to agree with the honorable members that we have distorted, we have tampered with the character of this honorable house. But however, the matter at hand is quite important because, Mr. Speaker, can we proceed with the operations of this with these operations of this honorable house without considering that the appropriation bill, supplementary budget and appropriation bill should be enforced, because everything that happens in terms of execution of our mandate demands that the money factor should be considered. Honorable members will agree with me that it is becoming so hard, Mr. Speaker, to operationalize the effects and the works either way within the assembly or within the executive arm of government. And having considered that, Honorable Speaker, it is quite important that we put a lot of emphasis and consideration to see to it that we have we see it through the supplementary appropriation bill. And Mr. Speaker, I know as much as we have not been able to effect the supplementary appropriation bill today, through the other arm of the government, that is the executive, we shall, or I shall, as the majority leader, fast track the issue pertaining to the appropriation bill, and we see to it the soonest possible, Honorable Speaker, that we have had a special day as time goes by to make sure that we are done or we are through with the appropriation bill. However, because I cannot promise, it would have been very great if we would have it tomorrow. But as I've said, as I've contributed, I shall be able to fast track to see that within the shortest period possible, we bring forth at the floor of the House. And having said that, Honorable Speaker, having said that, I now call forth Honorable Deputy Speaker to second on the same. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Majority. Honorable Diaz.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, as I rise to second this motion, it is important to note that once a while it is very important as the corridor, as we observe in our corridor of the Assembly, to retreat for a recess. Honorable Speaker, we need to connect with our people, assess the mood of our employers, and also, very important, Mr. Speaker, to retreat for prayer. Our country, Honorable Speaker, needs a lot of prayers. If you are treated to the media interview with our president, it disguises you whether we still uphold leadership for what it is, or whether we have drama entered into a kind of a drama. We are treating our people a big joke for a very serious work we are needed to do. Honorable Speaker, after the interview, the interview was deconstructed by the media, personnel, facts finding, and when a whole leader of a nation is accused of lying, then it tells you the frustration
Point of order,
that
Mr.
gets
Speaker.
the people.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, it is for this reason that members should use this recess for prayer, Honorable Speaker, because we need,
Yes, Honorable Kashomba, what is it?
we need to know exactly
Honorable
what
Speaker,
to do with the...
I'm a bit worried because I believe our Deputy Speaker is a member of that party, the UDA party. And you see how they did when they were doing campaigns. If they tell us to get into prayers, I think it is ironical. We can't even understand what he's telling us. He's doing first of all pray for himself and his people because of confusing the Republic of confusing the Republic about what he will do in future. Now I've seen in the newspaper a lying president. The newspaper all over a lying president. He's coming to Mount Kenya, just lied to our people, and you are still telling us to keep on praying for him not to lie. He has lied 1,000 times. We don't even have to pray for him. That is the way they got it.
Honorable members, I would guide, let us maybe avoid debating along a member who is not in this house, who can't defend themselves. Let us maybe debate along what you're supposed to do, like DS, retreat, connect with people, along that line. Let us avoid presidential debate, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mine was just a counsel, and Honorable Speaker, my age allows me to give some counsel on how to utilize our time. And Honorable Speaker, it was just a good counsel on how we should use our time. And Mr. Speaker, Honorable Gashoba should find it in his mind, in his wisdom to pray, because his leader is one of the Azimio leader needs a lot of prayer. He traded opposition for a handshake. Honorable Speaker, away from that, I also want to say that our recess time has been consumed unfairly because we needed 2 weeks, and it seems that we only have Tuesday and Wednesday to rest, and then we are back in business. Next time, Honorable Speaker, I think we should protect our recess because it means a lot to us. Because, Honorable Speaker, the businesses we are having and the frustrations that is there, it is enough to drive somebody mad. And we need some time to rest and even to consult ourselves whether we are in the right direction or not. And if we are in the right direction, we pursue. If we are not, then we know where our country is heading. Honorable Speaker, it is inevitable to avoid that debate because, Honorable Speaker, a presidential decree, especially if you come from Geta, Honorable Speaker, where you know that the guest who is coming in our county promised a road in 10 months.
Honorable Deputy Speaker,
Honorable Speaker, you wonder which corridor the contractor is using.
I wish to bring your attention to Standing Order 89(1), and those are rules and regulations of this House, which state that neither the personal conduct of the governor nor the conduct of the Speaker or of any judge nor the judicial conduct of any other person performing judicial functions, nor any conduct of the head of state or government or the representative in Kenya of any friendly country, or the conduct of the holder of an office whose removal from such office is dependent upon a decision of the Assembly shall be referred to adversary, not directly, adversary, except upon specific substantive motion of which at least 3 days notice has been given. You can proceed.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker. And I second the motion. There is enough business for the recess. I second. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, just clarification.
Yeah. Maybe you will come as I propose, because the motion has been seconded. I now propose a question, which is that this House does adjourn for recess, such that the recess commences tomorrow, the 3rd day of April 2025, and ends on Monday, the 14th day of April 2025, in accordance with this amended legislative calendar for this 4th session of the 3rd Assembly. As such, this House adjourned today, the 2nd day of April 2025 at 9:30 a.m. and resumed on Tuesday, the 15th day of April 2025 at 9:30 a.m. You can proceed. Debate. Yes, Honorable Gishoke.
I'm not sure that I'm going to be in order. If I am, you are going to guide me. But I am just wondering, even when there is a law in terms of the substantive motion on a matter, but when we are saying that we have the head of state visiting a county, I should think that it becomes a matter of county importance. And therefore, I think an assembly can be seized of an opportunity to discuss a presidential visit because of its implication and the importance within the county. And therefore, it takes precedence that it can be looked upon because, for example, the members who are in Olkarau, where they are hosting the president, and the members who are in Engineer and they are hosting the president, they may want to pick the views of the representative of people of what should they tell the president when he comes. The most appropriate follow, in my view, is this, because if you allow people to, the representative of people to air their either content or discontent, in my view, I think it would appear as more of a matter of county importance, which should be given precedence and the such.
Thank you, Honorable Gishoke. If you look at that standing order, it is stuck on the personal conduct. Personal conduct. That is what we are just evading. However, on other issues, project and what have you. However, I would urge the members now to come back to the main debate on the question that are proposed. Yes, Honorable Mbai.
Speaker, I also start to be guided because what I heard from our Deputy Speaker, he was only preparing us to prepare ourselves for prayers tomorrow. You know, he was just trying to guide us on how we can pray tomorrow. At least the things that will be promised will be of, will be the right things. So I think, Honorable Speaker, we didn't understand our deputy that he was only preparing tomorrow to intercede on the matter that will be taking place tomorrow.
The chair has given the direction, and I reiterate my directions in regard to that. Yes, Honorable Kayeni.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the motion by the majority leader that these members should proceed on recess, and more importantly, to do other things, among them, to engage in prayers. I want to remind my senior, Honorable Gashomba, that we live because we pray, and prayers are very important. I want to predicate my argument again to just lead Honorable Gashomba.
Maybe point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Gashomba.
Actually, I didn't say that we don't have to pray. I was just alluding on what the president had been telling us all the time. You cannot be praying for a liar who has died for you 1,000 years. I know we don't have those precious time to pray for a liar who has died for us over 1,000 times. I think those are not prayers. I'm just joking around. I was not on that line, Honorable Kayani. I was saying prayers are always good. So we can, but we can.
If I got Honorable Kayani clearly. He was saying we need to pray. He was backing you up. Yeah.
But on the other hand, he lamented as if I was getting away from the prayers.
Maybe you can confirm.
I'm family a believer, Catholic Church, and I'm a believer, and I believe in Christianity. Catholic Church is my church. Yes, and that's why I'm saying about praying. That one is paramount. What I was trying to deviate is to pray for a person who has died 1,000 times to our people, and we keep on praying for him. Let us pray for him to get out of that.
So he is on a point of order. Yes, you are done. Honorable DS, you can come on a point of information or rather.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, it is important information that prayers can be done to anybody. You can pray that God confuse your enemy. That's a prayer. You can pray that God, you know what to do with this enemy of mine. And that is still prayer. So there is no order any direction into prayer. And if I decide to pray for Honorable Gashoba, it is for me to decide what to tell God. And then it is the decision of God.
Mr. Speaker, I think Honorable DS didn't understand me. You don't have to walk God all the time.
Point of information. Honorable members,
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, just a minute. Yes, Honorable Benji. Information to the House or to Honorable DS or to Honorable Gashomba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to give information to the Honorable Member, Honorable Gashomba.
Honorable Gashomba, you need that information?
Our dear Speaker, I want to remind Mr. Gashomba, it is important even to pray for your enemy.
He has fought for the title honorable.
Enemy. There is a curse and there is a prayer. Mr. Gashomba, Honorable Gashomba cannot tell us that we can come here to curse. We are here to pray so that we make things to change, not cursing. Thank you.
Honorable members, at this point, honorable members,
Mr. Speaker, I want to make it.
Honorable members, at this point, I want us to come back to the main debate, which is the question that had been proposed by the Honorable Majority Leader. It has been seconded by the Honorable DS. That is touching on adjournment. Honorable Whip.
Mr. Speaker, as I sit here, I'm getting very confused. I'm sure the Majority Leader has told us that he will push about tomorrow, which I welcome very heartfully, but I'm getting very confused. People are talking about a presidential visit where I decide to go or not to go. I'm just asking myself, because I have heard that this house is a house of order. Who has been invited to attend the presidential event in this house? And if some have been invited, I think I would have been the first. I sit in the NEC, UDA, the strongest organ of the party. I do not have an invite. Can you be serious? The president himself said, do your work. Your work is not go where you are not invited. So I urge members that you sit put until you get an invitation. If you would appear there and one asks you who requested you to come here, what would you answer? Can we be sober for once? Let us do what we are supposed to do. Ignore what you hear through the magazines and social media. We do not have an invite for the presidential event. Thank you.
And maybe what is your position in regard to the motion moved by the... I'm coming to you, Honorable Gadongo. What is your position in regard to the motion moved by Honorable Majority?
About our recess, of course, we have gone short of a few days. But I think because we are workers and we came here to work, we will swallow that. If we are called here tomorrow, we shall be here. If we are not coming tomorrow, we shall be here on the 15th of April. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, yes. Honorable Gashomba, what is it? Before I come to Honorable Gadongo.
I want just to support the motion that has been brought forward by our majority leader. so that we can be able to engage with our people, our employers down there, as we get to understand their problems, as we are taking the development projects that are there. We need to understand they are the ones that have delegated us to be
Point
here.
of information, Honorable Speaker.
I think let now every member complete in regard to that motion, then I come to the other member. I'll give every member.
I was on top. I was interjected on a point of order.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
I think I was the one who was making contribution before others come.
I'm aware. I think that was an oversight. Apology for that. I'm coming back to you. Honorable Kashamba, complete.
Yes, so that we can be able to engage with our electorate, who are employers, and get to understand their problems, so that after the 2 weeks recess, we'll be able to come back here and actually deliberate on the issues that have corrected from the views from our members, so that we can be able to come here and try to register it and do better, because we are just delegated by them to come here and work for them. On the other hand, Mr. Speaker, I feel it also wise that we should not do much on tomorrow's event that is coming. Let's get to our people. Let's get to answer their problems, not to get into those petty politics that will be moving around tomorrow in our county about trials and all that, so that we can be able to move forward. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, we can go to Honorable Kayeni, then Honorable Gadungu. You can complete. I lost track on due to some. I'm human.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I seriously lost my tracking on the matter that I wanted to execute. But however, I had opened a verse I wanted to back up the contribution by Honorable Deputy Speaker regarding prayers. In the book of Daniel 3, there were 3 gentlemen called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were both Jewish men. And there was a king then called Nebuchadnezzar. Honorable Speaker, the king then decided to throw some of these gentlemen into a lake of fire. And I want to help Honorable Gashoba and kinda remind us why we should pray. That even if things go south and they get very difficult, that we should keep praying however difficult things become, because that is the only way we get out. And I really want to emphasize and overemphasize the importance of prayers, even at a time such as this. That these young men, when they were thrown into the den of fire, thank you, Honorable Denji, they did not burn. That was amazing because of prayer. The king was ruthless, just like we may draw analogy to what may be happening. But through prayers, they survived. Even the strongest of the fire did not touch them. So I want to urge all of us that in the thick of things, and I like that word, in the thick of things, that we should remember our Maker to deliver us from the yokes of the difficulties we may be going through. And I want to encourage all of us that not all that is lost. There's still some dim of light, Honorable Gashomba, and they say that there is the light at the end of the tunnel. So let's not lose hope because of the lies that may have been given. Let us know that there comes a time when we will go back to the truthfulness and to the truthfulness of life. And I also want to remind ourselves that indeed we have time, like you have contributed, to go back to our people for that 1 week to support them. My only concern, Honorable Speaker, is that Honorable Denji is reminding me, and Honorable Chief Whip has also said that we were meant to have 2 weeks, but 1 is gone. Again, I know you have ruled on that matter, but it's a matter that we, in our own Kamukunjis, we need to revisit and strongly, take a position that in future, if we are asked to come to the Assembly on a matter that is as important as an appropriation bill, that matter is dealt with fully. And finally, just like Honorable Chief Whip is saying, we are members of UDA, and now I want to remind Honorable Chief Whip that we are no longer in UDA. We are in a broad-based government where both the UDA and Azimio are sharing the cake. And therefore, Honorable Gashamba, when you're telling us that about the UDA, remember that Azimio is equally a shareholder in the government that we're in, and there's no longer a time for pointing fingers. You are in it, and you're enjoying the cake and a piece of the lies. Thank you.
Yes, maybe you can give it in form of information.
Maybe I want to inform Honorable Kayen that actually he has alluded that we are in Azimio. Yes, but we are in Jubilee Party. And there's some of us. If you see our minority leader there, Honorable Mwagishoki, he's not part of those broad-based government. He's not there. There's that part that went to be with the government. But there's the other part in Jubilee that believe that our party leader is Muigai Uhuru Kenyatta. The other one is Raila Odinga, Apollo Odinga, who is with UDA, and also the ODM people that have joined the government. We are not there. The likes of Akina Kwenya have left the party. They've gone to that end. We are not.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, maybe honorable members, I want to urge the members, let us go back now to the position of the motion. There is a member who is that, who came up on a point of order. Honorable Kadungo, sorry, I had given you a, oh, sorry, immediately. Honorable Kungo, Honorable Kadungo, first of all,
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I'm in agreement. The members need a break so that they can be their people. I know in several wards there are things which are happening, and at least as the oversight body of this house, we need to go and check on what is proceeding in our wards, maybe on road construction and any other matter which pertains to the budget that we have passed in this assembly. And Honorable Speaker, I also want to concur with my sister and the NEC member, Honorable Wajiko Kabiro, aka Maria Harun. And one day, Honorable Charity Ngiru said, you go where you are celebrated, but not where you are tolerated. And Honorable Speaker, if the members have not been invited in the presidential visit, and furthermore, it is a visit of controlled crowds, Honorable Speaker, and the president is at liberty to visit Nyandarua and launch whatever he feels like launching, even the wrong reins, Honorable Speaker. He's the president of this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kadungo, what is your position in regard to the motion moved by the Honorable Majority Leader?
Honorable Speaker, I've said I'm in full support that we should go for recess.
Yes, Honorable Kungo.
Honorable Speaker, I want to support the motion for adjournment. I had an earlier debate this morning where members said that they want to be in this house and be very active working tomorrow. But because, you know, we are dictated by our calendar, I would support that we adjourn until such time, Honorable Speaker, when the appropriation is ready. Honorable Speaker, it is within your powers to gazette a special sitting for this house to come and pass the appropriation bill. I also want to encourage the members of this assembly to go and be with the constituents. There are so many projects that are ongoing that has been procured within the budget, the main budget. Then the members go there, do the oversight, take time and talk with the members, because as we come back, Honorable Speaker, we will have a busy schedule. One, on looking at the implementation, how far we have been able to implement this budget. And secondly, when we'll be preparing the itemized budget for the financial year 2025-2026. So, Honorable Speaker, we support the adjournment and allow the members to take their time and relax so that when they come back, they can be re-energized to continue with their role of the role of this house, which is oversight, representation, and even making necessary statutory laws. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Peter Maina Mwangi, member from Nyandarua Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to support the motion for adjournment, but Mr. Speaker, I'm a bit confused that I'm going for a recess, but I'm 100% broke. Yeah, Mr. Speaker. So unless you are sending me home to be just with my kids, I cannot visit the ward, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Diaz.
Is it in order for the member for Daragwa to bring the government into embarrassment because he is a fully paid member of county assembly and he should not at any moment declare that he is broke? Otherwise, there should be a by-election
in Nyandarua Central.
Mr. Speaker,
Point of information, Mr.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not a bankrupt, but I'm talking on personal capacity, Mr. Speaker. I'm not even talking on behalf of the DS. Mr. Speaker, if today, Mr. Speaker, a by-election can be called in the Nyandarua election, I will be 100% ready for it. If I'll be asked to go for an election because I'm not being paid my due, which I'm supposed to be rightfully paid. So, Mr. Speaker, as I am going to Wajiko, I'm going to see Wajiko with empty hand. So, Mr. Speaker, as you know, my work is oversight. I cannot oversight without being well facilitated. So, I'm just asking, Mr. Speaker, yes, I support the adjournment, but I need to be facilitated to be able to talk to Wajiko well and also to be able to oversight what the executive is doing in my ward.
Thank you. Honorable Shuki. Oh, Honorable Kuya, I saw you, but Honorable Shuki, proceed first, then we can
Mr. Speaker, I support the adjournment. An adjournment calls for people to go back to the people who give them mandate to come here. And there is no reason as to why somebody would not want to go back to the very same people who give him permission or have permission to be here. And therefore, I'm supporting so that we can be there. In the meantime, we will also be analyzing the phenomena that are happening between the county government and the national. And of course, we'll be taking stock of what the county government have been able to achieve within that particular time, as well as the national government. Of course, in clear interest, we will be interested into what the head of state will be talking about. Of course, we have had him before. We had a Thanksgiving in some place called Engineer, where the head of state came in, and there is quite a host of things he said then. It is good to do a recess so that we can have an opportunity to analyze what he said when he came 2.5 years ago, and analyze what he will say 2 years later. We will be interested in looking at the project he will be coming to launch, the ones he promised against the ones which have been done. We are, of course, going to have this recess so that it can assist us in establishing the truth in terms of what the president is saying against what he's doing. Of course, Mr. Speaker, you know that we also live in these places. We can see what is happening, we can see what is not happening. And we representing the people of Engineer, I was with them yesterday, and they are clear in their mind that they will be there, but they'll be there so that they are also on their recess. And they will take a recess tomorrow, Thursday, because the head of state is visiting. And in that recess, they'll also be evaluating the national government, the questions of trust. They are clear that they have a problem with the trust, especially on one member who they elected, called Honorable Kwenya. They think they cannot be able to trust him again, considering that the times they set him to represent them, he is not representing them in terms of their views. Of course, he said he's Moses of Kinangop, so he does not need to consult anybody, but the people of the region are feeling like...
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, is it in order for a member to mention an honorable member who cannot be able to defend himself at the floor of the House? Is it in order? Because I've heard Honorable Mwangi mentioning Kwenya, who is not in this House, and he's an honorable member of the National Assembly. Is it quite in order?
Maybe you are not supposed to discuss. You can just mention. It has got nothing to do. If you mention the name of a person, the only thing you are not supposed to discuss their conduct or to discuss them in the House when they cannot defend. I think you just mentioned.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Let him first complete the information.
The information is very important.
To the member?
Yes.
Yes, only that information, Honorable Bishop.
Yes. Honorable Speaker, it is very unfortunate that some decisions that are made in this house, sometimes they look biased. You gave direction that we should not discuss anyone who is not in this house because he cannot be able to defend himself. Yet you are rowing on one Honorable Wagishuki to continue discussing Honorable Kwenya, saying that he is that he pretend to be a Moses of engineer. Why is he discussing him? Yet he is not here to defend himself. Let us continue with the direction that you give, that we should only discuss the matter to do with the adjournment. Anything else, unless now you open a door where we can be able to discuss even the president, then he should avoid discussing someone who cannot defend himself.
That must have escaped to my attention and is very serious. I didn't hear that part of the Moses. I think I must have, but nonetheless, let us deviate from discussing any member. But maybe I didn't get that.
Point of information.
I didn't get that part. However, members, I urge you, let us not discuss anybody in the house. Mentioning a name of a person has got no problem, but discussing their conduct. And I brought to your attention Standing Order 89. So if there was any prior discussion, there must have been, the chair must have been distracted. However, I did not get it from the horse's mouth. You can proceed, but let us avoid mentioning any member who is not in this house.
Mr. Speaker, I have restrained myself to matters recess. I actually was saying that even the people of Virginia are taking recess tomorrow because the head of state is visiting. I was discussing among the items they are discussing when they are in the recess what they would want to have and what they don't want. And because I'm the representative, I just said that they are unhappy with the people whom they cannot trust, and that trust is an important element. Among these people are the ones who says that they are Moses and they speak on their behalf because they are Moses. Among the same people who says that the people of Kinangop are not well educated. So they are saying during this recess on Thursday, when that person comes, they would want to request him to elaborate when he says the people of Kinangop are not educated, our Gen Z are not educated. When he says that he will be speaking on behalf of us because he's Moses, in that recess, that is the questions they are analyzing on what they would want to hear when there is a visit that has come. And mentioning Kwenya, I was just saying the person who said that is called Kwenya. I did not discuss Kwenya as a person, but the person who says he's the Moses of Kinangop and that Gen Zs are not educated and that what the decision he makes are final in terms of Kinangop and that he's the dictator of
Point
Kinangop.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker. Point of information.
Yeah. Honorable members,
I don't want
Point of information.
Yes.
I don't want the information.
To the House, Honorable Speaker.
And I will
What is the information, Honorable?
This information might be important to Honorable Mwangi Gichuki as he proceeds. I believe the Honorable member is mentioning, Honorable Kwenya, must be somehow educated. I know he was in Daragwa sometimes back. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kwenya.
Honorable Speaker, I think you have made a ruling in this house, and this is an honorable house. And the matters we discuss here are unanswered. These are matters that will be precedented, and I think the crafters of the standing orders did that to regulate the business and the proceedings of any matter in this house. This is a constitutional house, and we should oblige and obey and work or even debate according to the standing order. I want to urge you, Honorable Speaker, not to allow, even though Honorable Wagishuki is trying to deviate craftily, that he is not discussing one Honorable Kwenya, by the simple fact that he is saying he is the one who said he is a Moses, and he has indicated some kind of a behavior that he has shown that is disheartening to the people of Kinangop. He should not be allowed in this house or to use this house as an arena of politicking, Honorable Speaker, to defend and to protect the honor of this house, even for now and for the future. And we can be accused of going against our very own standing orders. Let us be honorable. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, I will not take further information, but I wish to invite each and every person to study Standing Order 89. Any member who is going to mention any member who is not part of this house, I will not give a platform. I made my ruling. Kindly let's abide by the chair's ruling. Maybe Honorable Shamba on a very different note, not along that line.
What about
a very different thing? Just proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was just wanted to understand about personality. What about the institution that is that office?
Honorable Shamba, I invite you to first of all take a seat. Study Order 89 clearly. It will answer you that question. Just look, Sergeant, you can provide Honorable Shamba with a copy of Standing Order. It will assist you. It will answer you that question. Honorable Shamba, proceed, but kindly avoid mentioning any person who is not a member of this house.
I am agreeing. I'm well guided, Mr. Speaker. I actually was just confining myself to the recess, and I want to get this recess so that I can go to look into the many works that the county government of Nyandarua has done in terms of road development in engineer, and among the water projects that we have undertaken together with Honorable Kerry Badrisha. And we would want to be telling the people of Nyandarua that we have a leadership in this assembly and at the executive which has done enough work, which is why we need the recess to go and qualify and quantify our works. Of course, separated from the lies of the other works that cannot be put to test. We will also be revisiting the Ehide Road, which was discussed here, so it is not outside the context of debate, because it is in this assembly that we did petition the Senate so that we could have the Ehide and Donyojero Road being done. It has been promised severally, and it is on record that at one time somebody came and, because now we are not mentioning names, but there is somebody who came and said that in 10 months, he was actually very specific, that in 10 months the Donyojero Ehide Road should have started and be completed. We will go to recess so that we can be able to visit that road and see whether what was promised has been done. And we will use this recess, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker. We're going to use this recess so that we can also visit the aggregation center, where the county government has done substantively in terms of its contribution, which it has honored, contributing in excess of 100 million, which has gone into the aggregation center in Jambini. But of course, we will also be keen tomorrow as we do the recess, the public recess, in asking whether the other 250 that was supposed to come from the national government, whether it has been provided or not. Of course, Mr. Speaker, it is during recess that we will be looking into 3 boreholes which were sunk in the engineer, one at the school for the deaf, the other one at some place called Manyata, and another one that was sunk at another place, 3 of them, which were sunk 2.5 years ago. We will, of course, be using this recess to go and quantify and see whether they have been equipped, what probably went wrong. And of course, we were told that they are going to be done and they are going to be through in about 2 weeks from the time the head of state visited the engineer. You were there, Mr. Speaker, you had. And therefore, this recess is important so that the school for the deaf, which by that day was promised that it is going to be looked into, and the Turaga, which was also mentioned, we will be looking at it so that we use this recess to go and visit the Kenyahwe, where the PSS came and told us that they are going to be a museum, and in about 6 months, it was actually given a timeline of 6 months that it's going to be done. So we're going to use this recess to visit Kenyahwe. It is someplace in Turaga, so that we can also ascertain the extent to which these works have been done. Of course, we are optimistic and we are grateful for any visitor who visits Nyandarua with the goodies, and we of course expect that we are going to see this. In the meantime, anybody who would want to take a tour, if you are not very busy tomorrow, Thursday, and you'd be interested in taking a tour, we have organized a tour. For those people who can be interested, we will be visiting some place. Please, you can join me so that we can go together for a road tour that refreshes. You know, a recess is supposed to be refreshing, Mr. Speaker. So anybody who is not committed tomorrow and you want a road tour, we have organized something. You can join us so that we can refresh our minds as we allow the visitors to go back to Nairobi.
Mr. Speaker, point of clarification.
Yes,
I was not concentrated while the minority leader was up, but I have heard something that I just got interested. I love tours, but he's quoting we. Who is the we? Because company also matters.
Minority to respond.
We in this case is I am the one who have asked a few Land Cruisers which are available. I can confirm they are available. So I'm using we because I've already discussed with the majority, and he says he's okay with the movement. Somebody who is bringing problem. It is everybody who is not busy tomorrow and who is not concerned with the lies. I will provide. Let me remove we. I will provide a press, some boozy, and then some bit of tour, so that you can go sit some place and comfortably look into what we have done and what we intend to be doing, so that we can allow visitors to come, say what they want, and then they can leave, so that we can go back to Nyandarua, which we are used to, and which is the normal one we are used, so that we can do the works that we need to do. You are most welcome for some bit of nyama and boozy, and a boozy. I have a boozy somewhere.
Thank you, Honorable Minority. Honorable Kuriatu. Yes, I'm coming to you. He had called the speaker side.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I raise to support the adjournment for the short recess. And Mr. Speaker, it's important to note that we are lagging behind for the supplementary budget. It is equally important that when we'll be resuming on Tuesday, we task the chairman budget together with the majority leader that they make it possible that during on Tuesday plenary, we deal with the appropriation bill, because, Mr. Speaker, we are lagging behind time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Milka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I think we agreed in this house, because we are two milkers, it is important to specify which one, Mr. Speaker. However, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise.
I'll always make sure I do. Thank you. Member for Kirita, the only elected woman in Nyandarua County. Congratulations for that history. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That sounds better. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion that we need to go for recess. It is very important. There is a saying that says, all work without play makes Jack a dull boy or Mary a dull girl. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this motion. It is coming at such a time when there are a lot of problems in this country, where a lot of challenges facing our people. And actually, as the previous member said, we need time to reflect and also pray, and also be with our people to understand the issues that really affecting them at this particular time. Mr. Speaker, it's sad to mention that this morning I had to go to the hospital to just rescue somebody who was detained in hospital because of the bills, the hospital bills. And Mr. Speaker, I kept on asking myself, what do I do? Because as we speak, I have like 5 cards for medical harambes. And I'm asking myself, what could be the problem with the SHA or the SHE, Mr. Speaker? So it is time to reflect and also to speak to our people to exactly know whether this SHA is working or it is not working, Mr. Speaker, so that when we come back, we shall be able to give a comprehensive issue on whether SHA or SHE is working. And Mheshimiwa Gathongo is here, and he has a person also in Nyahururu Hospital who has been detained, and because he's my neighbor, we will confirm with him whether it's working. Number two, Mr. Speaker, it's also a difficult time for us, especially in Nyandarua County, where the national government through KARA reduced our budget by 200 million and also reduced the assembly budget by around 70 or 80 million, Mr. Speaker. And it is a high time now we sit with our people, because this money was budgeted for in every ward. And I'm sure in this assembly, members have lost some projects that will not be done in this year. It is time for us now to go and convince our people of what happened, to tell them we intended to do this road, but because of the budget cuts by the national government, we are not going to do it this financial year. We are going to do it probably in the next financial year. So it's also a very difficult time where we are going to convince our people. It is important that 2 weeks is not enough. However, we'll utilize the time because there are a lot of things that we need to talk to our people. Mr. Speaker, there was also another issue. This time as members, and especially for us, where no single bursary has been issued to our peoples. We were supposed to have done this in January. The lists were prepared. They were submitted to the governor or to the executive, only to hear the controller of budget saying that the county government will no longer be issuing bursaries. The case is still in court, but I will take time at my backyard in Kereta Ward to explain to my people that the problem is not the county government, the problem is the national government through the controller of budget who have denied the county government issuing bursaries to our people. So I urge members, you can explain that, you can take time to explain that to our people, and I hope people will understand. And when we come back, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure you'll give us an opportunity where we express what our people say, because our country is run through public participation. So I would want to hear what is the feeling of our people on 3 issues. 1, on SHA, whether it is working or not. Number 2, where do we deduct, which project will stop because of the budget cuts by government through KARA. And number 3, what is their feeling on the county government being denied an opportunity to issue the bursary. However, Mr. Speaker, on a positive note now, there are works that are ongoing through the county government. The road works, especially like in my ward, we've done quite a number of road works. So we are going to inspect what is the program, how progress, how far they are. There are drainage works ongoing. We will go to inspect, oversight, and also give a report afterwards. And of more important, Mr. Speaker, for me, I'll go now to check which other projects now do we carry on in the next financial year, because we have done quite a number of road works. Waterworks, we are progressing well on waterworks, on the issues of ECD and agriculture. And Mr. Speaker, so I want to say this recess is very, very important, and we will take time with our members, with the public, so that we can understand really what is it that you want us to implement in the next phase of this financial year. However, I want to urge the executive. They should not delay the implementation of projects, especially at this time is when they need to come to the ground so that we can have a discussion and we start preparing the next year's budget so that it will not have a standstill like we are having today. If a road has an emergency, it needs to be done. For example, in my ward, there was a road that was in the budget. And Mr. Speaker, that road had an emergency. And we kept on calling that this road must be done. However, because I had the machinery, that road was done through the machinery. And therefore, what I'm saying is we need the county government to come and implement those works so that by the end of June, we'll have completed. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I support this program. I support this recess. I support the motion. And as I conclude, I call my colleagues, honorable members from Ndaragwa constituency. We need to confirm whether Ndaragwa Kanyaguya Subuku is 50 or 17 kilometers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support and I call the mover.
Thank you. Mover, you can respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm so much happy. My heart is elated because of the way the members have contributed to this motion. Indeed, today has been a special, it is so special. Honorable Speaker, I've moved a number of adjournment motions. But today, this motion has elicited a lot of reaction from the members. And having understood their mood, Honorable Speaker, something is not really working as expected. However, Honorable Speaker, I'm so much happy because today you have also candidly protected the standing orders as it is in this honorable assembly. Honorable Speaker, members have spoken. We have listened. Every member speaking at the floor of the House. And indeed, members have supported the adjournment motion that I've moved this morning. They have mentioned so many pertinent and very important reasons why we should proceed for a recess. Honorable Speaker, they've said, some of the members have said that they are so religious. This is a great moment that they are proceeding for a Lent. That is the period that they dedicate their life, their family, their friends, to prayers. And more so, you know, Honorable Speaker, we have the Catholic followers. You know, they are so much dedicated during this period. And hardly would they hardly do they miss this great moment when have a rent period during their life in every year. Honorable Speaker, some members have said that this is a great moment now to meet the electorates, those people who elect them. They have so much, you know, they stay for almost an year without having ample time to meet those people who elected them. It is also quite important, Honorable Speaker, that this is also a great moment for those members who have family. You know, Honorable Speaker, during Easter period, this is a great moment where, as much as you are a reader, you also commit yourself to your family. You have an ample time and great moment with your family. So, in essence, I also agree with the members that it is quite important that we proceed for this recess. Honorable Speaker, I've heard Honorable Ajiro say that this is also a great moment where we are also having a great moment to do the audit of what has transpired within the year. Some members have not been able to visit the projects that they have done This is a great moment that they need to visit the projects to audit whether they are, the intended objective has been actualized. So I agree with the members that there is so much we need to fast track. They have spoken about the SHA. Some members have not been able to fast track, whether within their wards, where they have dispensaries, they have level 3 hospitals, whether it is legal. Because as a leader, you need to speak from a point of information. You cannot just be speaking about SHA and you don't have facts at your fingertips. So some members have alluded that this is a great moment. They want to go and audit and see whether these processes, these projects from the national government are actual. They have spoken about the housing project, and indeed, Honorable Speaker, I'm also concerned. I would wish to have enough time to see whether the housing project is also absorbing the 1,000 people that had been promised. So, Honorable Speaker, indeed I'm happy because there is no member who have opposed the process of proceeding to a recess. And having listened to members, having listened to their contribution, I also agree with them that we proceed as stipulated from what has come out of this this motion. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I now move and then ratify the said motion.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Majority. I now put the question, which is that this House does adjourn for recess, such that the recess commences tomorrow, the 3rd day of April 2025, and ends on Monday, the 14th day of April 2025, in accordance with the amended legislative calendar for this 4th session of the 3rd Assembly. As such, this House adjourned today, the 2nd day of April 2025, 9:30 a.m. and resume on Tuesday, the 15th day of April 2025 at 9:30 a.m. May as many as of that opinion say aye. May as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, next order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the business of this sitting as appearing on the order of paper has been exhausted.
There being no other business to transact under this sitting, I now adjourn the House to Tuesday, the 15th day of April 2025 at 9:30 a.m.